Hi, I'm Julia.
And I'm Sue.
You know, something sounds the same, but also a little bit different.
Yeah, welcome to Whole Lotta Craft. We used to be Sticks and Stones podcast.
But now we're a Whole Lotta Craft.
Right. And we're starting with episode 50 because we love what we did in the past, but we're looking forward to heading into the future with some new, exciting projects coming our way.
Expanding our horizons.
It'll be fun. Join us.
There's this one. There's this one. Where did I put that needle? There it is.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm trying to finish up on my projects.
Wow, that's a whole lot of craft.
Today we're no longer Sticks and Stones, but instead a whole lot of craft. On episode 50, we're going to see what we've been working on as always, but also introducing some new things. We're going to start at the beginning with a few new cast-ons and look to the future with some prizes and giveaways. Come join us. Well, okay, so here we are.
Here we are. It's episode 50.
It is, and then we finally made it. I didn't think we were ever gonna get here.
And it's also Whole Lotta Craft.
And that is all about us becoming something a little bit different than what we used to be.
Yes.
Yeah, but also the same. So you'll see a little bit of this trend, I think,
right.
of same but different, and new but old, and you know, just freshening up a little bit around here.
So those of you who've been with us know what we're talking about. Those of you who are new to our video podcast, we were Sticks and Stones podcast for 49 episodes.
Yes, for 3 years.
And I'm Sue.
I'm Julia.
And I'm a jewelry artist. I do specialize in horsehair jewelry. And Julia, you...
I am a knitter and a spinner and a fiber enthusiast.
But the fact of the matter is that's not all we are.
Right.
We both love all kinds of craft and art and anything funky and fun.
Yeah. So our podcast is a little bit different than some of you might see. We will definitely touch on things that are strictly jewelry based or knitting based, and I know a lot of you guys out there I've met through the knitting community, but we do like to have some fun.
Yes.
And if you look back, you'll see some really unusual things. You'll see us get a little bit loopy playing with nail polish.
That's right.
You'll see a whole bunch of Pinterest fails. And, you know, if you go way back to the beginning.
To the very beginning, which we are not going to link to that episode, but if you want to find it, you can.
Yeah, you'll see.
Because it'll be on wholelottacraft.com. Oh, it's not back there anymore.
We have a new website, wholelottacraft.com. Well, everything will be listed, so you guys can get there and take a look and see some of the past episodes and kind of, you know, laugh along with us.
Yeah, our first episode was sort of like the NPR skit from Saturday Night Live. Yeah. And I think we've come a long way since then.
Yes.
We're not so robotic anymore.
Yeah, so...
Isn't that nice?
It is. It is good. It's very nice.
So we are a Whole Lotta Craft from here going forward. Who knows? You might see us on a field trip.
Yeah. We're hoping to do a couple of different fun things this coming fall and winter. And like we said, we're probably repeating ourselves. We do have the new website, wholelottacraft.com. Our Ravelry group is also switching over, so take a look for that. I will have them linked with the Sticks and Stones podcast name for a while so that you don't get completely lost. You don't need to resubscribe. All I'm doing is changing the name. So all of you YouTube followers can just keep on watching.
That's so nice about technology. It's so easy to change it over.
Finally figuring it out.
After 49 episodes.
It's taken a while. The technical difficulties are always fun. So, but, you know, we always like to go over the stuff we've been doing. So, do you have anything new to share with us this week?
This is just something I was working on this weekend. It's hard to see what it was, but one of the things that I do besides jewelry is porcupine quill work, which is a Native American art. And there's still needles on this, and I just stabbed myself. So this was, I did an open house, I did a demonstration at the Indian Museum this weekend, and so I was working on embroidering some porcupine quills to leather as my demonstration. I'm trying to make them look like feathers, but I'm not sure that it's really succeeding. But
so far so good.
You know, try again.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what I've been working on, and I'm hoping, you know, to start working on some Christmas gifts really soon. I'm not sure what. Couple days coming up that we'll have off from school, so it'll be time to just chill and think about that and figure it out with the kids.
They tell us at work we have this Christmas countdown. I think we have 8 weeks left.
Okay, I don't want to hear that stuff. I don't like hearing that until it's December.
But you're so excited about Christmas.
I am excited. I just don't like the deadline. I like to pretend that it's still coming.
Yes.
So what about you?
Well, you guys saw the hat I was wearing at the beginning of the show. There it is. I have actually gotten 2 more things off my Christmas list. So started this yesterday and am almost done with the body. I think this is going to roll up. So I have a little bit left to do of the this part of the hat before I get to the crown.
The head topper?
Yes. I don't know what it's called off the top of my head. I'm blanking.
Off the top of my head. See, we're funny too.
Yes. So, but this is going to be another gift. It's out of Cascade 128 Superwash. So it's a nice yarn. It's been fun to play with because this is the first time I've used it with these projects.
Nice.
So I got that started and I got another one finished. This is actually a local yarn I bought at the farmer's market. It's indigo dyed.
Oh, fun.
And I made a cabled cowl for my brother's fiance. Nice. Yeah, I don't dare put it on because the indigo does run. It'll turn my needles blue.
Wow.
But I'm going to set it in vinegar before I give it to her and then rinse it really good. So, but it was a nice little cowl, nice little project.
So, indigo is so beautiful, but it's so hard to make.
Yeah, so I really wanted to support this girl after she, spent all that time. All of her yarns were natural dyes.
Wow. So, I bought an indigo plant at one point, and then I researched it. And it's crazy hard to do it and extremely toxic. Yeah,
I don't want to mess with the toxicity, but I will support others to do it. If you want to dye it for me, I'm more than happy to pay you for it. So that's what I've been doing, just kind of plugging away and getting things done. I also had the shawl that I didn't get to show you guys last time because my daughter was wearing it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Because it was a birthday shawl.
Right. And so here's the finished product.
Oh my gosh, it's so pretty.
Yeah, and it's long. You can hold the other end there and I'll stretch it out so you can see. Wow. The purple did get a little puckery there. I could not quite get that to go away, but she likes to wear it with it behind her so you don't see that part. It just kind of turns into a shawl collar, more or less. Okay. And she just wears it like this. And it's very long and drapey on her, and she loves the colors. She said, it's not quite what I pictured, but I love it. I'm not going to complain about that.
Yes.
But this little segue here, this is actually, I partially designed it, partially took it from a recipe from a book we're going to be reviewing called Shawl Shaping. It was given to us by Cooperative Press, and it was written by Anna Dalvey. And what she does is she goes through different types of shapes and how to create them in shawls.
Interesting.
So the crescent shape one she did actually started from the bottom and worked its way up, and I did mine from the top and worked its way down. But generally speaking, it was the same principle. So it was really neat to be able to see how she kind of formulates how to create these different shapes. So that's something that I think when you're used to reading a pattern, you don't think about how does it work? What do you need to do to make the wingspan longer without making it deeper? Or if you want it deeper and longer, how do you do that?
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, so that was pretty neat. We're going to go over it a little more specifically next time.
Yes.
But that book, because it's a party,
yes,
is going to be part of our giveaway today.
Yay!
Yeah, we have a bunch of stuff to give away.
Yes, we do. What else do you have to give away?
I am going to be giving away, first of all, the book, then also this lovely merino. It's Superwash merino from All Spun Up, and it's teal and royal blue and white.
Can I win it?
Don't you wish?
Employees and families
Are not
Whole Lotta
eligible.
Craft are
Yes.
not eligible for.
Yeah.
Again, it matches your shirt. It looks exactly the same colors.
Yeah.
You're in
I'm
a
doing
blue,
something.
green, purple kind of mode.
This is one that actually came with my wheel, and I just have not spun it. It's beautiful, but I don't think it's quite my. Even though I'm wearing them today, this is not quite my colors that I generally work with. So one of you gets to enjoy it instead.
Fun.
And what do you have to give away?
I'm going to give away some little bags of roving because I love needle felting. So I have some extra. There's a kiwi green from Kramer Yarn, this lovely sky blue, and a brown, which is a merino. And so I'm going to give those all as one prize. And this is the earrings that we made.
Right.
These are the earrings that we made a couple episodes ago.
Right.
So we'll be giving those away as well.
Yay! And then there's also, last but not least, one more skein of yarn.
Yay!
This is from Knit Picks. It's called Imagination, and the color is Ruby Slippers. So that's going to be another one that somebody can get. And we're going to have all of these prizes on our old Ravelry group. So take a look in the thread there. We're going to ask you guys a question that you have to answer.
So you can put it either on Ravelry or on our new website.
Mm-hmm.
You can comment there as well.
That's right. And so if you don't have access to Ravelry, you're welcome to leave a comment, and I'll add you into the drawing. What's the question going to be?
What would you like to see on Whole Lotta Craft?
Yes.
Whether it's, you've been with us and you say, I love that you do this.
Yeah.
Keep doing it. Or I would love to see you do this particular craft because I've been curious about it and I want to see a DIY on it.
Or a knit along. Or a craft along. What do you want to do? A specific project that we can all work on together.
Basically, the doors are wide open.
Yes.
For whatever you think, whatever you'd like to see on Whole Lotta Craft. I had to think there for a minute because I'm so trained to say something else.
So
It came on my tongue before, but that time I almost. It takes a little adjustment, but we're so excited.
I know.
So we hope that you're as excited as we are. It's like we said in the beginning, some things are the same and some are going to be a little different.
Yep.
One thing that's going to stay the same is a DIY. And we're going back in time.
We are, because this was kind of like our very first episode. We did basic knitting and some cast-ons. So today I'm going to teach you a couple of different cast-ons.
Yes. All right, so come back and join us.
Today I'm going to teach two cast-ons, the knitted cast-on and the backwards loop cast-on. They both have different characteristics than the long tail cast-on that I usually like to do, and I'll go through it as I do each one. Both of these cast-ons start with a slip knot. And the way you do this is to just take the end of your yarn and you're going to cross one end over the other. Then you will pull, like you're tying a shoe, bring your yarn through the back and just pull up a loop. Just don't pull your end all the way through, and now you have a slip knot. You're going to put this over your needle and cinch it up tight. The backwards loop is probably the easiest cast on. It is extremely elastic though, so if you're going to use it for more than 4 or 5 stitches, I would not recommend this one. It's great for closing the gap in a thumb gusset or under the arm of a sleeve, or if you just need a couple more stitches at the end of your long tail, it works great. But otherwise it gets very stretchy and very difficult to work with. What you're going to do is you're going to take your yarn and just flip a loop here. So I like to put my finger underneath the yarn and twist it towards the needle. This creates a loop with the yarn crossed in front, which you're just going to put onto the end of your needle. Kind of like a lowercase e. So again, finger goes under the yarn, twist it towards the needle, and put it on. And so there you have 3 stitches for your backwards loop cast on. Finger under, flip towards the needle, and onto your needle. This is how elastic it can get. It will stretch way, way, way out. So it's really good for just a couple of stitches, but otherwise it gets too unwieldy to do your first row. Now going back, you need 2 needles to do your knitted cast on. You still need your slip knot just like we did before, but this time you're going to put your second needle in like you're going to do a knit stitch. Most of my beginners I teach to knit before they cast on, so this is a pretty easy way to transition if for some reason the long tail is confusing. you're just going to knit a stitch. But instead of taking your yarn off of this needle, you're going to put the new loop onto the first needle. So you're just going to do that by bringing your left needle under and into the loop, and then onto your left needle. Again, just knit a stitch, pull out your loop, but instead of pulling off the end, you're going to pick it up from underneath with your left hand needle. And there's your third stitch. If you get good at this, you can actually leave your needle in the loop. You don't have to take it out each time. So it can be a pretty efficient way of casting on as well. This one is not quite as elastic as the long tail cast on, so it's good if you need a firm edge. But it's also not as stiff as some other ones, so it's a good middle of the road cast on for those who would prefer to knit instead of doing the coordination of the long tail. So there's your knitted cast on.
Dun, dun! That's the conclusion of episode 50 of A Whole Lotta Craft.
Oh my.
Did I get the dog on?
You did, he's all hyper now.
He's so excited about episode 50.
We're all pretty excited, and we're looking forward to the next 50 or
Episode.
so, or who knows how many.
Wow.
What do you want to do in the next 50?
In the next 50, I would love to take a tour of Kramer Yarn.
That'll be really fun. You guys probably don't know this, but we live, I don't know, 15 minutes
Yes.
away from one of the oldest yarn mills in America.
Yes.
Longest running? I don't know.
Something like that.
It's got a claim to fame.
It's really big building. It's gorgeous. It has it's a gorgeous old building, and I've seen pictures of the inside where they have the big rolls of roving.
Yeah.
I would love to take a tour of that.
Yeah, so-
And right down the street from that is actually Martin Guitar,
Right, yes.
which would be another great place. You know, the crafting of
Yes.
a guitar is a pretty amazing thing. And another thing I have not toured, despite
I
the
haven't
fact
either.
that I've lived here for years and years and years. Still haven't seen it. I'm hoping.
Yeah, it's pretty.
One of
Like,
these shows.
Kramer actually were the ones who made the yarn for the Olympic sweaters.
Oh, that's right.
So-
They were.
Yeah, so I think that'd be a really fun thing to go to. I agree.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
What about you? What do you want to do?
Oh gosh, well, we talked a little bit about just the creative ways to look at craft instead of just arts and crafts, but you know, what about craft beer?
Oh, yeah. I'm
Or-
thinking we're going to expand a little bit into food, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, we have done a little bit of food, but not much, so.
And I'm not very good at food. So I like to eat the food, but I'm not very good at making the food, so this will be a good thing for me to try.
I don't think we're going to have a cooking show. We're not going to be making
No.
roasted chicken, but more, you know, interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do 50 ways to make a turkey.
We wrapped one in bacon one year.
That's right, and you have it woven
We
too,
did.
didn't you?
We wove, and of course it's not going to happen now because bacon's like on the cancer list or something like that.
Oh, whatever.
But yeah, we took our turkey and wove bacon strips over top of it, and it was so good. It was so tasty.
I bet it was.
But yeah, that's a whole. You got weaving mixed in with bacon.
Yeah, craft and food.
Yeah, and I can see us going to the farmers market again.
Oh, yes.
It's always a ever-changing entity in our town that how they're going to present it over the winter and next spring.
Yes.
So that could be fun.
That's right. Last year we went on a field trip in a snowstorm
Mm-hmm.
and bought some yarn.
Mm-hmm. Among other things, some bread,
Yes.
good stuff.
Yes. So, but good old-fashioned crafting. I want to do more Mod Podge because I feel like I'm not good at it.
Yeah, that's a tricky one.
It always seems like it doesn't quite dry the way I expect it to.
Mhm.
So maybe we'll experiment with Mod Podge a little bit more
Yeah.
and more metalworking.
And I have a 3D printer that we can kind of play with too.
That'd be fun.
cool. Yeah. So if you've ever wanted to try
Maybe
that.
we could print silhouettes of ourselves. And
Oh,
we
and
could
just-
do like puppets.
So you won't be talking to us, you'll be talking to us.
3D. We can make them, what are those guys that sit on your, you know,
Oh, the
marionettes?
Yes.
What are they called? Ah, I can't
ventriloquists.
One week it'll be Julia with the Sue ventriloquist, and the next week it'll be Sue with the Julia ventriloquist.
Oh my goodness, this is a little over the top for me.
Because
Sure, I keep
you guys
doing
have
that.
plenty of stuff to, you know,
Yeah.
you wanna spend all that money on 3D printer stuff.
And we got quite a bit down there. Yeah, no, that's been kind of fun for us to play with, so that'll be something we can explore.
Yes.
And I don't know, what about clay? We haven't done much with that kind of stuff.
No, we haven't.
Just the clay beads, but there's a lot more to do with clay.
That would be a lot of fun.
So
That would be a lot of fun. Lots of options out there, and we want to hear from you. What is it that you want us to see us do? Put it on our Ravelry group or on our podcast website, which is wholelottacraft.com, and that'll enter you in the drawing for our wonderful prizes.
yeah, and there will always be, lest you're worried, always be some knitting.
always
some knitting.
There's always knitting in every podcast.
Yes, there is. So that will be there too, and I'm happy to go into any kind of detail that you guys would like to see on that.
Because you're an expert.
Well,
One of these days I'm going to take your class.
not necessarily
And then
expert,
I'll be
but
whipping stuff up.
we will do what we can do now.
Are you saying that hopeless?
I'm not.
I'm
doing that.
still in the remedial class, I
I
know.
took that
It's
out.
okay. I'm okay with it.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we're happy to spend this time with you guys as always. Come and
Yes.
see us on the boards and come back here again next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Darn, I hope we look this good when we're 50.
I know, that would be nice, wouldn't it? Coming up. Got a birthday next week.
You're not going to be 50.
Not yet, but it's getting closer. It's looming.